Hello Scorpio, Scorpio Rising and Scorpio Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting April 24th, 2017. And a quick reminder for you Scorpio people out there, remember I do have a special video up on the Venus shadow period. And it talks about a family of signs, cardinal, mutable, and fixed. And that's always important to pay attention to, because sometimes we just never think about the other areas of our chart. We only focus on our sun sign. Never a good idea. Might want to check that out. It's on the main channel page, like I said. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on with your astrology this week? Well, in the beginning of the week, we've got Mercury retrograding all the way back into Aries, into your 6th house of work, reputation, and physical health. And it's going to be forming a gorgeous connection to Saturn, currently retrograde in your earned income sector. Now, some people hear the word retrograde and they completely forget that they can be good. Stop it, because this is actually a wonderful angle. Because Saturn retrograde is getting a lot of blockages out of your way when it comes to your money, when it comes to you acquiring new funds. And with Mercury retrograde in the 6th house, we have people who you used to be affiliated with, people you used to do favors for, people that you used to perhaps even work with, old co-workers, old bosses, and things like that, coming back into your life and giving you maybe old money, old opportunities, or possibly even, giving you something back that you'd rather have than the present situation you are at in your current employment, whatever situation it is. The nice thing about this is that this is a perfect supplement to the financial situation that you are in, and this may actually be something that you are recovering. It's not necessarily recovering cold hard cash, but it is actually recovering an old job or an old pastime that will pay that out. Later on in the week, we do have a new moon in Taurus in your 7th house of closest one-on-one relationships. When that's your BFF, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, business partner, roommate, all the people you spend all your time with, one-on-one, or at least the most. And there's an opportunity with this new moon, over the next 2 weeks, to either meet somebody who does carry the potential to become that kind of official, or possibly even start crystallizing that transition for an existing partnership. The new moon in this area can also talk about a need to start finding ways to cement an opportunity, in earnest, to, be a bit more deliberate when it comes to our romantic lives. When it comes to, even over the next 2 weeks. It's not all going to happen this week, okay? It's a new moon. So, or take things slow and let things mature into this area. But if you're looking for it, it's there. Whether it's a new business partner, romantic partner, anything along those lines. A new one-on-one relationship that's going to be with you for quite some time will be arriving. So what's going on with your cards this week? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of the Cunning Woman. And we've gotten this card a few times for you, Scorpio, in the past, because this is a very Scorpio card. It's about proper timing. It's about not doing things in extremes. It's not about being clumsy or absolute. When we talk about the Cunning Woman, this card basically talks a lot about the need to see where we need to time things properly this week. Like I said with the Taurus new moon, not everything's going to happen all this week. Pay attention to where people have a tendency to try and push for certainty and answers all at once. And then ignore those people and help them understand that patience is a virtue. Because sometimes with the Cunning Woman, it's more important to be able to let something be stable. Do you want it done right or do you want it done fast? A lot of the times with the Cunning Woman, it's also saying paying attention to where things that you're observing are not telling you everything that you need to know about a given situation. You may be overhearing conversations this week, or you may be even witnessing scenes this week with people that you need to understand is never going, that they're not the whole picture. The conversation that's being brought up might not even be the subject they mean to talk about. It's just the topic. And with the Cunning Woman, it's almost like learning how to gather information like a good spy. And this might actually be the kind of week where you need to make sure that you don't, again, react prematurely, because we need to be gathering that intel. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we've got the Hierophant card reversed. Very fitting with Saturn retrograde in the earned income sector, because we're talking about breaking rules that don't make any sense. In fact, the Hierophant card reversed can indicate an authority, whether it's a boss or an authority figure of another kind, whether it's at a financial institution or your job, is going to be breaking a rule for you. Whether it's because they know it's not necessary, whether it's because they know it's not fair, or because they just simply feel like it's not relevant to the situation that you are in or what they need you for. This could be something that actually happens that gets you into an easy hire situation if you're looking for a new job, or possibly even, again, a promotional opportunity that you didn't think you actually had a right to ask for. Either way, again, a rule is being broken because it needs to be, and it just happens to also bring some fringe benefits for you. For your communications with air, we do have the Five of Wands, reversed. This card is also a good reversed card. Now we're learning all about not seeing things black and white. Because with the Five of Wands reversed, we're seeing a ceasefire happening. If there's been issues going on with friends and relatives and lovers and things like that, arguments, lack of communication, too much communication, arguing, mood swings, emotional highs and lows and things like that, the Five of Wands reversed is kind of saying, no, we're going to bring some peace in here. People are going to be laying down their arms in the best of ways. And with the Five of Wands reversed, this could come as a bit of a relief if you feel like maybe you've been kind of sucked into the fighting or into the arguing or anything along those lines. And the nice thing about the Five of Wands reversed is that if that ceasefire is going on, people aren't going to be asking you to take sides. And they certainly won't be taking up arms against you. So if you do need to find a way or a good time to actually start having a sensitive conversation when people are, let's just say, less touchy, this is the week where it's going to be easier to do it, especially after Wednesday. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Three of Pentacles reversed. And this card is talking a little bit about a need to pay attention to where are we, the Scorpios, and other people with us, still thinking about ourselves when we're meant to be operating on a team. Again, you're Scorpio people, you're self-aware. There are only so many signs I bother to call out this way because, some of them will freak out. And the Three of Pentacles reversed honestly does say, though, it's time to own where we might have some selfish or inwardly focused intentions that are actually maybe self-sabotaging us. Whether it's in a relationship or in a family situation or work situation, the Three of Pentacles reversed is saying somewhere the teamwork is starting to visibly break down. And everyone, it seems like, is coming at it with a bit of a selfish agenda, whether it's a selfish financial agenda, a selfish emotional agenda, a selfish whatever agenda. And the Three of Pentacles reversed can say the only way to rebond and fix this and get the glue stronger in these connections, in these relationships, is to acknowledge those things and decide whether or not it's possible to go on pretending like they don't exist. I think that with the Three of Pentacles reversed, a lot of people are going to be on a stronger team if they start acknowledging, what they're coming at it with, selfishly, because sometimes they can get what they want selfishly and still be a good team player. And sometimes they just realized that it was going to come anyway, they just didn't pay attention because, again, when you're inwardly focused, you're not seeing everything. So that's not just you, but it is a part of a group that you're in. That includes you. So just pay attention to where that's happening. A little cognitive dissonance there. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we've got the Page of Wands reversed. Now this card can be a bit of an annoyance, I'll be honest, because the Page of Wands reversed can indicate a situation where there's some serious flakiness going on, some flightiness going on, let's just say a lot of impressionistic or a lot of, empty talk happening with a crush or even with a partner. The Page of Wands reversed tends to show up in a situation where people are, maybe they're trying to keep things too light. They're trying to gloss over things. They're either trying to make things too light or they're trying to make things too serious. And with the Page of Wands reversed, the problem is it's never consistent day in, day out. It's like, how come we can't have the same personality or the same relationship one day to the next? And that can be a bit of a frustration when it comes to your crush or your partner. And sometimes this card does show up when a person is just not very grounded, and we need to be focusing on grounding ourselves in the relationship. But sometimes with the Page of Wands reversed, it can also be indicative, especially in new relationships, that, this person is maybe not looking for something as serious as they're pretending. Now, again, with the Three of Pentacles reversed, it's okay to make that known. Some people say they want a serious, mature thing, but they're not serious and mature enough to deserve to be in it. And that's okay to bring that talk up with somebody. Not because we're trying to hurt any feelings, but simply to get everyone on the same page. Also, remember, this is just a one-week horoscope. Awkward conversation, definitely not forever. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session, you can always follow the links below. Or you can go to integrativemysticism.com. I'll talk to you later.